back to BSG Annual 2021. We are the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering, and we organize bi-monthly gatherings in the Benelux for speedrunners. Due to the situation surrounding COVID-19, we're currently doing our events online for the time being. This event features streamers from both the Benelux and the rest of the world, bringing you entertainment during the lockdown. And now it's time for our very own Boxmeister playing Metroid Zero Mission 100%. Take it away.
Hello everyone, Boxmeister here. It has been a while since I last done Metroid Zero Mission on the BSG, so let's have some fun with this one. I soft reset, so I'll set up for start. So I'm gonna start in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, Metroid Zero Mission 100%. Metroid Zero Mission, remake of the original Metroid for the NES. 100%, collect 100 items, so that is all major items, all ammo, upgrades, including missiles, super missiles, power bombs, energy tanks. And the first item percentage is going to be obtained here, the Morph Ball. There are 100 items to be collected across the game, so we'll immediately get into that, actually. It's very classic, just like the original. First room, you collect the Morph Ball and go. Yeah, the Morph Ball is needed to get into tunnels, otherwise you would get stuck here. And Metroid Zero Mission, as a remake, does add some quality of life features. They have these statues that heal you, but also guide you towards the next items. So they give you a logical path to take. We're actually gonna ignore the logical path to take, because the game wants you to get the long beam first. We'll not get the long beam just yet. We won't get it until much later. It builds upon Super Metroid, as we make use of techniques such as the wall jump that I did there. And you'll see a couple other techniques later, but we need the requisite items for that. Now, instead of going to long beam, we're gonna dash immediately towards our first, our first of many missile tanks we're gonna collect, because the missiles is the first real big weapon we collect. I will be putting them to use immediately, actually. Oh, because there's gonna be a boss here, and this boss will die in 3 hits. We don't want this boss to run away, because that's annoying, and this boss drops a major upgrade we want to collect. We need to collect, because 100%. And in all the routes, we would just leave the room and collect the charge beam later, but it's actually worth it to collect charge beam now, because we can make use of a few extra abilities, as well as refill our health and missiles, because we're gonna need those in a couple of rooms. What you saw me do there is, if I have a fully charged charge beam shot and I spin jump into my enemies, they take damage, and some the enemies outright die. And that's very useful. This room, we have 3 hives, which we have to get past. And once we kill all of the 3 hives upon future visits, the hives won't respawn, so we only have to kill them once. Now you see me take a very peculiar path in this room, and that's to ensure I can do this in one run. Unfortunately, the bugs are a bit trolly, as you can see, so I have to do a few extra loops. You can manipulate the general movement of these bugs, and if you know what you're doing, you shouldn't die there, although if you're really unlucky and have a bit bad luck with your execution, you may die. Luckily in this room you get your first energy tank, which also gives you a refill on your energy. And we're on our way to our next major item already. It's gonna be the bombs. We need bombs to clear bomb blocks, and they usually block Morph Ball tunnels, so you can see why we would need that to progress. Thanks for that missile drop. And yeah, Metroid is all about getting from point A to point B as quickly as you can, collecting items to clear obstacles, Metroid also gives you a lot of freedom, though. There's a lot of different routes you can follow throughout the game. And depending on what your goal is, you may choose to follow different routes. Especially in terms of boss order, or in terms of cleanup, or in terms of item collection. Because for 100% you actually have two major route variations you can do. The so-called early Brinstar cleanup or the late Brinstar cleanup. Brinstar is the area we're currently in, and early Brinstar cleanup is what we're going to do now, which means we're going to clear the top part of Brinstar now, actually. Now, I'll focus a little bit on this trick. What you saw me do there was the so-called infinite bomb jump. If you time your bomb placement, you can gain height infinitely. And if you do it properly, you can lay 2 bombs, which makes you climb heights even faster. At times, if you're off rhythm, it's better to switch to single bomb, so I did mix it up a little bit. But that's, well, a trick you see a couple of times just to either access places quicker or just to enable certain routes. For early Brinstar cleanup, infinite bomb jump is definitely a requisite, a thing you very much need. Late Brinstar cleanup would do 2 major bosses first before cleaning up this area. And the early Brinstar route has a few advantages. You have some extra ammo, which ammo and management is actually important, and you get an extra E-tank, which also gives you a bit of safety in the middle part of this run. So that's why I'm gonna go for it. It's a bit more difficult at the start, but it's easier at the later parts. It's roughly the same in length as the late Brinstar cleanup, although with some new routes variations you can do. Early Brinstar route is a bit more favorable. You saw me collect the energy tank. To the right of that room we were just in is actually the Varia suit upgrade. We're not gonna collect the Varia suit upgrade there. I should say in advance. We are gonna collect the Varia suit, but there are 2 ways actually to collect the Varia suit in this game. I will get to that at a later point. Now this is a bit of a tricky item collection I have to do, because I have to do something called a diagonal bomb jump, which is the same principle as a normal infinite bomb jump, but with these rippers, these floating enemies around, they can mess up your timing because they can get in the way, and it's really cycle dependent. There is some RNG involved there, and you have to work your way around it. But we managed in not too long time. If you do late Brinstar, you have items that make your life a whole lot easier, and you don't have to worry about bomb jumps. Actually, bomb jumps are going to be the bread and butter of this category at the first part of the game. Now, the developer intended route will send you towards Norfair, collect power grip and such. We're not going to do that in this category, because in this category we actually gonna go to the crate area first. Now, this game is all about Samus being on a mission to kill the Metroids, defeat Mother Brain. In order to access Turian, where the Metroids and Mother Brain is located, you need to kill 2 bosses, Crate and Ridley. Now, in any percent, you would go to kill Ridley first and then Crate. In 100%, we do Crate first, and I will explain that in a bit. The fact that we do the Crate area first means we are not as optimally equipped for this area, but since we have to collect all the items anyway, we have to visit a few extra places in this area. An area to activate the zip lines, for example, which is what you're intended to do. Normally, When you get to the crate area, you have the power grip, which allows you to grab ledges and pull yourself up. And that the developers want you to activate the zip line so you can travel across the crate area like that. The problem is we can't grab ledges, so we have to substitute that by actually using bomb jumps. As you will see in a bit. So normally you would have power grip here. You activate this ball boost, get up, and you would could use these alcoves to get there. Because we can't grab ledges, we actually have to climb using bomb jumps. Now this room is... This room is specifically designed with power grip in mind, but with diagonal bomb jumps you can make it across as well. So... yeah, once we activate the zip lines... oh, come on. I need to open that block. I completely missed that. Okay, should have it now. There we go. It can be a bit tricky to hit that block with the bomb. It is possible in one fall to bomb the block and actually manage unmorph and get the wall jump in order to immediately get into there. But it's a bit tight. It's a bit tricky. So we're gonna be fighting our next mini boss soon. We activated the zip lines, but we have to fight this so-called acid worm. Now, acid worm takes 30 missiles to die, and normally when you do early brimstone cleanup you have about 40 missiles. If you do late brimstone cleanup you would have 30 missiles at this point, so your ammo management gets a bit tight. On top of that, in a few rooms we actually need 20 missiles. Now, since we've been collecting a few missile tank upgrades, we will get that easily in this route. In late brimstone cleanup you would most likely have to farm a few missiles, which is not that slow, because you have a few good spots for that on the way. So, Maud, do you have anything to tell whilst I travel across this great area with great background music?
Oh, of course I do. I can remind the people that we are raising money for Mind. In every region of the world, mental disorders surpass 10% of the population. Governments seem to lack momentum in reducing the burden of mental health problems, as only 55% have mental health awareness and only 8% have suicide prevention plans. Organizations like Mind help raise awareness to the issue, helping us get one step closer to a world where everyone gets the help they need. Also, let me remind you that after this run, we have a Mega Man run with a bid war for the character that is played. So for the Mega Man The Power Battle run, you have the choice between Proto Man, Mega Man, and Bass. Or Base, as I'm told, sorry. With Proto Man in the lead with €4 and Mega Man and Base with €3 apiece behind that. You can still switch that around. Do we have some more time?
You have a bit more time.
Okay, because after that, we also have an incentive for the Mega Man Extreme 2 run to upgrade the category from any percent to 100% New Game Plus, which, as I've been told, is a very new category, so it's never been shown at any marathon yet. If you do want to see that, we need a total of €250 for that, and we are still missing about 165 of those euros. But on the plus side, if we get that incentive met, then we will also have our milestone met of the BSG Online 4 total, which was $1,857. So that's 2 birds with 1 stone. Isn't that a great thing? So please keep your donations coming.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of wins to me. If we can get that, never seen before category and a milestone. So this area, this puzzle is all about activating the ziplines. You saw me be cheeky and activate the zipline early to actually carry me to the last ball booster to clear the puzzle. Now, no, I didn't get that. Crate area has a bit of a boring item cleanup segment, so it's really nice to have a donation, host being able to talk about the wonderful incentives. So yeah, we're approaching. We're gonna approach the big boss to this area now. You saw me collect an unknown item on that statue. Those items will activate at a later point. You will see when we get them. But for now, crate area is somewhat straightforward. You make use of bomb jumps to get across the area, and yeah, you fight this. You kill things with missiles. And crate is also a spamming missiles. In any percent, you would have super missiles by now, and crate takes 4 super missiles, so it's a really quick fight in any percent. In 100%, you only have normal missiles that you do it. So it's a bit longer. You want to spam your missiles in to create as quickly as you can. And you see the gateway tutorial open for the first half. You obviously need to defeat Ridley for the second half. But now, so far we've been to a, well, so you could call it a bit of a slow start, but we're gonna speed things up here because we have a speed booster. Now, speed booster, what it does, if you run for a while, you start going really fast and actually can boost through enemies, walls, certain blocks, walls, and things. But you can also use the speed booster to do another trick, which I'm doing here. It's called the Shine Spark. So I store the energy of the speed booster and I use it to propel myself into a horizontal or a diagonal direction. It's a really cool, neat trick introduced in Super Metroid, and been a staple ever since, I'd like to say. And we collect the final item we collect for now in the crate area is this energy tank. And we'll be exiting this area to make our way to Norfair and the Ridley area. Now, the reason we did the crate area first is actually to get the speed booster, because if you have speed booster you can clear all of the items in the Ridley area, and the Ridley area is the furthest away of all of the areas, so you really want to do that. If you would have killed Ridley before killing crate and exiting the area, this cutscene actually gets skipped. So the game is actually aware and does allow you to do things in a different order. The developers added a lot of shortcuts that allow you to skip, to go your own way, basically, if you have the skills to pull it off. And we make use of those shortcuts and techniques at great liberty in the speedruns. Now let's get this one. It's a nice exercise in double bomb jumps to get that E-tank. And we're on our way to Norfair. Now we're gonna use a little bit of a shortcut here, which we can use now since we have the bombs. Now, because it's late Brinstar, the moment we get back from Norfair, Ridley and Norfair, we'll be heading to Tutorial immediately, so it's much better for me to collect the missile tank now. Otherwise I would have left that missile tank for the late Brinstar cleanup. Now you can set up a bit of a Shine Spark chain here. And I was hoping to get that last Shine Spark, but unfortunately my unmorph input got eaten there, so no dice. But we're headed to Norfair. Now Norfair is an heated area, has acid, has heated rooms. And heated rooms you take, without fire suits, you take damage in heated rooms. As I mentioned before, we were close to the Varia suit at some point. We will be getting the Varia suit much later in the run. And since it's 100%, and even in any percent, we will get the various suit really late. Because with the energy tank, you can, in principle, the developers allow you to skip all of the heated rooms. Basically, in any percent, we skip all of the heated rooms, and then we take the various suit when the game automatically gives it to us if we don't have it. And in 100% we have a lot of energy tanks, so we can actually get through the heated rooms without the various suits. Which you'll see in a fair bit. First of all, the game does force us to go here first to not only get this unknown item, but also get the power grip. Because we went left to Norfair, we went to Criteria. Criteria's area newly added in Zero Mission. It is in Super Metroid. It was not in the original Metroid for the NES, but they added it for a multitude of reasons, as you'll see. Now, the right side of Norfair is blocked off by a plant until you get power grip. But what Criteria also allows us with using a Shine Spark chain is to get a pack of super missiles early, and that means we get super missiles early and we can collect super missiles early. And super missiles are really nice because one super missile is as powerful as 5 normal missiles, and it allows us to collect other items on the way down as well as items in Ridley. Because normally, if you follow the developer intended way, you would get your first pack of super missiles in the Ridley area. But now we have them a bit early. Now, normally, you have to wait for this tower to rise to the top before you can climb it using your power grip. However, if you can bomb jump, you don't have to wait for the platforms and get up there as quickly as you can. And power grip is a really nice item. Zero Mission also has a randomizer, and we noticed when playing randomized seed how useful power grip actually is. Because the game is actually is somewhat of a pain to play without power grip, I can tell you. Power grip is a nice utility. Because otherwise you have to bomb jump everything. But now you can do stuff like this. Oh. Didn't bomb out that block, well that's fine. Hey, yeah, we're on the way to the right side, and that's where the adventurous part of Norfair is gonna start. And we're gonna be making use of another shortcut first, since we already have Speed Booster. What we can do is actually Shine Spark and get through the wall instead of having to climb up and around. And whilst we're here, we'll just collect this missile tank. What I did there was a diagonal spark, so yeah, like I mentioned before, you can Shine Spark both vertically up as well as in all horizontal and diagonal directions. We're on the way to Ice Beam now. Ice Beam is a absolutely required item. You can't kill the Metroid Centurion without it, which means you would get stuck and die. Ice Beam also has an additional use. In a really old 100% route, you would collect Ice Beam once you're finished with the Ridley area, but there's a reason we collect Ice Beam early. I will get to that once we get to the appropriate place in the Ridley area. Because it actually allows us to... It actually makes the life easier through something called, through a very specific glitch. I should add, this game doesn't have many glitches. It does have glitches, and a few of them actually are useful. Now, this is the first heated room. Like I mentioned, I take the continuous damage, but it's not a very quickly accumulating damage, so I can get out of this area without taking too much damage, but health is something I have to be conservative about, because if I take too much damage, I will obviously take a death. Now this next heated room is gonna be a bit of an interesting one, because Depending on how the exit of this room goes, I will have to go back here later or not. Well, we'll see about that. There's 2 items to collect here. No? Yeah, okay, good. You don't want to bomb the floor there, because otherwise the floor will disappear. And you need the floor to set up the Shine Spark back. Okay, good. Getting the Shine Spark high enough to also collect that missile tank is deceptively tight, I should add. So the fact that I got this first try means I don't have to get back here later, because if you miss it, it's faster to actually go back on the Norfair cleanup later. But now I don't have to do that. And in fact, yeah, with this health, I feel confident to do the heal afterwards, because we're gonna make our way through a series of heated rooms now. Now, with the early Brinster route, this route is relatively safe because you have an extra E-tank. With the late Brinster cleanup route, if you mess up, then you might get into trouble. If this were a late Brinster cleanup, I would have died because I'm below 1 E-tank. Now, I'm taking it a bit safe here, but I should be fine because in this room, we actually did a bit of a sequence break. And we are going to collect the screw attack earlier. Normally, the game guides you towards screw attack after the Ridley area, but if you have missiles and you know where to look, you can get the screw attack much earlier. And screw attack, if you spin jump into any normal enemies, they die. So it's a really powerful item to have early. Also allows you to use a few shortcuts, as you can see here. We just went through 2 floors using screw attack, and it really makes the rest of this Norfair track relatively safe. Now the problem is there are some blocks do break under screw attack, so you have to be mindful if you want to step on those blocks to not be in screw attack form and breaking them. Now this is another long heated room where you have to collect a few items. If I wouldn't have healed previously, or had to do the heal early, I took a lot of damage already, then this might be a place where my health might get a bit precarious. Because I healed at was able to heal at screw attack instead of earlier, this room becomes relatively safe. And we are on our way to collect a lot of items in here in Norfair. Going through these finds, and we're gonna collect another beam actually down here. And we need this beam to get an item in the Ridley area. There's also a way to get that item without the wave beam, because the wave beam allows you to shoot through walls, but that's near TAS only to be able to do that, because you actually have to... Because there is a very frame perfect, very setup specific trick you can do, but it's RTA wise not worth it to do so, because it's stupidly difficult to do. It has been done by a colleague runner of mine for a proof of concept, but it took him many tries, so yeah, really not RTA viable to do so. Now, this floor, normally you're expected to kill those worms with the wave beam from below. The problem is the floor is only 1 tile wide, so you can actually clip the missiles through, which is what we did there. So now we killed worms, and we're gonna be arriving at the Ridley area very soon. But before that, we have another mini-boss coming up. Now the nice part is about the next few rooms is you have screw attack. It's really helpful. If you're in screw attack form, not many things can actually do anything to you, and also allows you to break blocks. Now let's see. Now let me freeze you. Come on. Okay. Nice. Okay, that was a good Imago fight. This cocoon fight, it's all about breaking the vines and getting that properly done with using the wall jumps and the ripper is difficult. I did save time. Nice. I have my splits open, so I'm looking at that as well. So if you're wondering what that clacking noise was, that's actually my splitting pedal, because I have timer running as well, because I'm always curious. Now you see this cutscene with Ridley. We entered the Ridley area, but we're immediately gonna exit, because what's happening here, that cocoon we've just fought, actually hatched and burrowed his way into the Ridley area here. And we're gonna fight its more adult form. It's called Imago. And well, you're not normally expected to have super missiles here. So if you have a few super missiles, like I do, then this fight gets a lot quicker. This is normally the first super missile tank you would get in the game. So by a bit of sequence breaking, we well, get a much easier time. And that's really what Metroid speedrunning is all about. Doing things out of order, finding our own path, which is might be the fastest. It's really cool what you can do with this game. Now in any percent, you would make your way straight to the Ridley area. You could skip all of those areas in Norfair that I went through to collect the items. Give me that super. And you can actually go right down the elevator instead of left, where we've basically gone to get to Ridley immediately. Now, here you're gonna see the reason why we collect Ice Beam. Oh, it went by really quickly. So what I did, I froze 2 bug enemies that spawned from the ground on top of each other in the air. I positioned myself on them and actually killed both of them at the same time with the bomb. Now, if you're on top of 2 enemies, if you kill one of the enemies, the game tries to put you on top of the other enemy. Now, because I killed both of them at the same time, it will put me on top of the other enemy, but the enemy has defaulted back to the spawn point, which is in the ground. So it actually clips me through the ground as a result. And you can only do that setup with Ice Beam, which is why we collect Ice Beam early in the 100%. It's a really cool glitch, literally, Ice Beam. See what I did there? Yeah, whilst I do this Shine Spark mods, do you have anything to talk about?
Oh, we did get a €5 donation from Killer Chair, who will incidentally be the host after this run. So look forward to that. And they say, Box goes fast, Chair approves. Thank you very much for that donation.
Box approves of Chair approving. Definitely. Now, because we're coming up on the so-called puzzle areas of the Ridley area. These rooms have a sort of puzzle going to this. This is more of a beat defuse type of puzzle. So you activate this bomb chain and you actually have to make make your way across. Because all of these blocks at the bottom here are actually crumble blocks, so you immediately fall through them if you were to try and stand on them. It's a fun little puzzle. Now, this next room is can be a bit annoying because the method is always the same, and the jump only has a 4-frame window in terms of timing, both for casual play and as well as for speedrunning. So there may be times that you miss it, and depending on the subframes, it might even be 2 frames if I remember the words of our Tesser Dragonfangs correctly. Yeah, it can be really rough, those rooms. But so far this Ridley area is actually going really well, I should say. Normally I tend to mess up at least one of the puzzles and have to redo it. Can happen. Because 100% zero mission is quite a technical category because of all of the item collection you have to do. A lot of the items are locked behind tricks or puzzle puzzle-like tricks. For example, the beat the fuse thing, or having to set up a certain shine spark chain, or movements and finding the right blocks in general. Hidden pathways, big staple of the Metroid franchise, as you see here. And just when you think you've collected all the items in the room, there might be another item hidden in there somewhere, and we collect that as well. Yeah, in 100%, that super missile tank I collected here would be the very first super missile tank we would actually. In any percent, the super missile tank that was located over there would be the first one we collect, and then we would collect one more and fight Ridley. Now, Ridley, contrary to Super Metroid, Ridley is actually a really easy boss fight. You'll see in a sec. So even in any percent where you only have 2 to 4 supers, it's really easy. Basically, we'll be collecting the last of the unknown items and an energy tank hidden over here, and we'll fight Ridley. My advice for the Ridley fight is don't blink. Really don't blink. This fight is over before you know it. Does a bit of a jump scare. And basically this fight for any percent and 100% is the same. Unload your super missiles and missiles into Ridley as quickly as you can, and you kill it. It's really that simple. It's really not that difficult to fight. And now hopefully I'll get a few super drops. I only got one, so I need to farm a few more. I need better. Yeah, that one works. You need to freeze a bug there to boost yourself up. It's I have a setup for that, but I mistimed my jump slightly. Now, since I've got so little super missiles, I'll collect the drops there. Usually those bugs drop a few supers, so that's nice. I want maximum supers because we'll be going to Turian soon. We defeated Ridley, we defeated Kratos, so we'll go to Turian to defeat the Metroids and kill Mother Brain. It's really going that fast. And normally in the NES game, the game would end after defeating Mother Brain. Now this strat I did there was a bit something, well, we sometimes call jumpy. So jump and freeze an enemy on top of it. So that went well, and this is the entrance we would normally use in any percent, so we go, and we would also use in any percent to leave, so yeah. We completely cleared Ridley, so we don't, so there's no items remaining in the Ridley area, so we don't actually have to go back there at all. So that's nice. Now Norfair we will clean up a bit later. Little bit of spoiler there. Now this shine spark I just set up is very specific. If you start too far back, you'll get into a so-called speed bump-like thing. If you start too close, then well, you don't get a speed boost, obviously. So we're about to collect our last 2 items remaining in Brinstar. And the next item we're gonna collect in Brinstar is my favorite. It's done the intended way, and it's really cool because you have to set up a few shine sparks and a shine spark in morph ball form, so-called ball spark. And it's fun. I like this. I like this puzzle we have to do here. Oh, whoops! I accidentally missed the charge. Now, if I'm lucky, okay, I managed to set it up in reverse. That's fine. Okay, I got it. That's good. And that allows us to collect this super missile tank. Now, since this is early Brinstar cleanup, we don't have to go back to the right side anymore. Normally, late Brinstar would go to the right and then up and do the basically do the early Brinstar cleanup in reverse, but you have power grip, you have high jump, you have screw attack, so it's a lot easier in late Brinstar cleanup. Late Brinstar cleanup is a somewhat more beginner-friendly route because you really need some technical bomb jumps. Although you do have less health, so you have a bit more health and ammo management as a result. It's really up to preference, like I mentioned before. But we're about to enter Durian, and let me check. Yes, I've collected every item in Brinstar. That checklist you saw on my screen is a thing you get when you have start a new game from a cleared save file. Doesn't change anything except that it gives you that item checklist. Oh wait. Whoops, I messed up. It gives you that item checklist, and I'll be using it for marathon safety, really. Muscle memory should make sure that I don't miss any items, but I like to be extra safe. So, Turian is all about killing the Metroids and getting to Mother Brain. The Metroids can only be killed by freezing them and either using 5 missiles or 1 super. So obviously we want to use supers. They don't have a super high chance to drop supers, so hopefully they drop. Some of them do drop supers, so that I can continuously use super. That would be nice, but no luck so far. I will make sure to keep a minimum of 4 supers, because that's for the Mother Brain fight, but it seems like I'll be switching to normal missiles already. Which is fine, I guess, but okay. Oh. Getting grabbed by a Metroid means you have to bump yourself loose. And the nasty thing is that costs you health, and that means it might offset your drops by health drops, which is not really beneficial if you want to get as many super drops as you can. And as you can see, it's a bit slower. Ooh, nice. To kill them with normal missiles. So freedom was so close. There we go. Okay. Luckily, I have gained a few super drops, so I have some things to work with here. Oh, that's unfortunate. The Rinka got in the way of my super. Okay. Okay. This is sort of fine. Okay, got a super drop there. That's good, because that speeds up the Mother Brain fight coming soon. Now, the Mother Brain room is all about these Zapatites you have to shoot out. They take 7 missiles each, and if you don't wait, they recover. So you want to get through them as quickly as you can. And then you have the Mother Brain fight itself. It's relatively simple. The concept. Oh. Yes. Those extra supers speed up the breaking of the glass tank, and the safest place in this room is actually right here, because you can just interlace your missiles with the super missiles. Now the nice thing is on the dying Mother Brain, the collision works a bit weird, so you can actually charge a speed boost against her dying body. And we can make a way through the escape. Now, the original NES Metroid would end at this elevator here. So this is where the original NES Metroid would end. This game doesn't. As you saw before, I got some unknown items. I got criteria got added. There is a whole campaign added Access to Zero mission. So we're actually not done with the game quite yet. And And this extra bit is really cool. The real final boss we still have to face, so it's gonna be fun. So yeah, this is classical. This is classical Metroid. Defeat the final boss. Something you have an escape time. If something explodes, you escape on your ship. Your suit gets taken off. You see that our main protagonist is actually a woman. Really cool back in the 1980s, very unique. However, there's an extra bit of story here. You see Samus getting chased by the space pirates. We haven't seen them yet. Mother Brain was actually one of the leaders of the space pirates, Ridley as well. But her ship gets taken down and she crash lands back into Zebes. But she has lost her suit. And she landed close to the space pirate mothership. So she's stranded without a ship, without her suit, with only a stun gun. And she has to try and escape. How is she gonna manage? So we're gonna get into somewhat of a stealth segment. The suitless section. Sometimes called in community as Metal Gear Samus. It's all about avoiding detection. Now, as you can see, Samus is still quite acrobatic, even without her suits. You can do wall jumps still, which is an impressive acrobatic feat, if I might add. And these the stun gun you have can shoot out bomb blocks, and it can stun space pirates if the bar is fully charged. Basically. So this is all about stealth, and here, nice. Okay, I skipped the map station. If you jump wrong, you'll land straight into. You get fall down and jump straight into the map collection. It's sort of a mark of shame in the Zero Mission community when you get that. And if you're a bit experienced, you can easily avoid it. Although you can have unlucky days, I guess. We all have those. Yeah, as you can see, if you get detected, then these shutters go down. And you have to wait. You have to wait 7 seconds for the space pirates to. You need to be undetected for 7 seconds before the shutters open again. Now, running into this shots of the space pirates or touching the space pirates does 1 full E-tank of damage. Now the top runners normally would not heal at the start of the suitless section. And if you do it correctly, you don't take any damage at all. Because this is a marathon run, I'll usually take that safety. And you have your normal E-tank, so I have 9 I have 9 E-tanks, so I can survive 9 hits. That's a good thing. Now, this suitless section also has a few shortcuts, such as that wall shaft over there. And yeah, we can dodge a lot of enemies here. Now, this next room, not sure if this will show up nicely on my capture, has these searchlights. The alarm activates if you get spotted by one of them, so we'll swiftly avoid them. And we'll wall jump and shoot and crawl our way further across this space pirate mothership. Because we need to go to an area beyond the space pirate mothership, actually. That's our goal for our protagonist here. Now we're gonna make use of another shortcut here. It's actually this area in the wall here. The alarm automatically gets turned off if you use this shortcut, because otherwise space pirate would spawn on top of you, which is not very beneficial. And now we're headed into the Chozo ruins. Now bit of lore here. Samus actually was raised on Zebes. Her parents were active on a neighboring planet on a mining colony, and that got wiped out by the space pirates, and she got adopted by the Chozo. So she knows this She was raised on this planet, so she knows this place like the back of her hand, really. That's why she was sent here to kill Mother Brain and the Metroids. It also means she knows these ruins, and she also knows what is located in these ruins, which is her goal. And I will get to that when we get there. Now, if I get a little bit lucky, the alarm gets turned off. If you time yourself correctly, the alarm gets turned off and you can shoot the pirates to stun it before he sees you. That saves me a couple of seconds, a few rooms for now, because otherwise, if the alarm was still on, I would have to duck into a safe room to turn the alarm off. Now I don't have to do that, so I can continue. What you saw back there was the power bomb, the power bomb tank. Last major item we locate. Now the power bomb placements, see that pace by dragging it away, you cannot catch that. It's also just a sprite, so you can't collect power bombs there. Power bombs are a bit problematic in this game. You don't actually need the power bombs to clear the game. The only thing that, well, power bombs does give you a few shortcuts and give you the developer intended way of clearing the game. But power bombs mostly hide other power bombs behind it, so in order to get the other power bomb tanks, you need power bombs. So yeah, for 100%, it's basically get power bombs as quickly as you can, and go on a cleanup spree. Because we have a few more areas in the game to actually clean up, but we can only clean those up once we get power bombs. But first we need to get our suit back, and well, we'll be getting to that point very soon, because no more space pirates chasing us, for now. Oh. Trying to do this segment properly. Okay, not bad. And here we see a bit of a flashback for our protagonist. This is the Chozo Ruins test, a Warriors test, and the price of this Warriors test is a new and upgraded, suit, a Warrior suit actually. So you get, if you clear this, you get the Warrior suit for free, and it also removes the other Warrior suit, so it counts as you having collected the Warrior suits. See a flashback to her youth. Now, this boss, Chozo Ruins test, we call it Charlie in the community. You need to shoot the 4 symbols when it appears on them. Now, what we do here, if you have extra health, you actually shoot. If the symbol is not appearing and you only see your image, you shoot yourself. And if you shoot yourself, symbols on average appear faster. So that's what we're doing here. Nice. Good fight, actually. Now what I'm trying to do here... No, didn't get it. If you turn around the moment you get the suit, you actually still have control. You can do a few glitched out shots. I called this split, by the way. Nice. But yeah, we get the ancient Chozo suit, which is a fire suit, and it activates unknown items, and the unknown items turn into plasma beam, gravity suit, and space jump. Gravity suit means we don't take damage from lava and heat, and can move normally in water, and lava, so that means we can do speed boost, shine sparks, and such. Plasma beam does damage for each frame it's inside of the enemy, so it's a really powerful beam. Space jump allows us to jump infinitely through the air, so it's a really powerful movement item. So what we'll be doing here, and I'm gonna take it a bit safe, is actually setting up a shine spark chain to collect 2 items. You don't need shine spark for this one, but no. Shoot, I have to redo that. Yeah, you need a shine spark to collect the second item. And unfortunately, if you lose the chain, you have to reset set it up again. which, as you can imagine, is a bit slow. Okay, should be fine now. There we go. Losing the Shine Spark chain is, yeah, a bit punishing. Loses you half a minute, I think. So it's a shame. I was one shine charge away from actually getting it. And as you can see, gravity suits, so no damage inside lava. You can run normally through it, move normally through it. It's really nice. Now, I mentioned the thing about the power bombs. Up until recently, the developer intended power bombs were really the first power bombs you could collect. There were no ways to get power bombs early. So you really have to go from the one end of this map to the other end of the map just to collect power bombs, and then you have to get back to the other end of the map to access the other areas, basically. Now, if you use a clever clip, you can get a power bomb tank a little bit earlier, although I have not been able to practice that trick, unfortunately. So you're gonna see the developer intended way. It's not too much slower though. I think it's half a minute, if I remember correctly. Half a minute to a minute. It's really not the end of the world. Now, these atomos, if you move normally through the rooms, they would charge lightning at some point and shoot at you. Now, if you have a beam charge, they're attracted to that and they won't shoot lightning at all, so that's why we have a beam charged in that room. Now, we don't have the stun gun, so we actually have to bomb the blocks and do a bit of movement to dodge and kill all of the enemies. Now, since we have screw attack, we are back. We are basically really overpowered, but the enemies still do 1 E-tank of damage if you run into them, so we try to dodge them as best as we can. Now you see me actually switch to supers here. The reason is power bomb management is really tight once we collect them. So we actually have to do a mandatory refill somewhere in the middle. Regardless of the route, we have to do at least 1 refill just for the power bombs. And as a result, it's better to use supers for this part, because supers are basically a 1-hit kill, whereas some enemies take 2 misses to kill, which means you need less ammo, so it's effectively faster to use supers here, because you can refill them, but it refills faster. It's very minor, because refill is 1 frame per ammo item, I think. So yeah, it's on the level of frames, but it also makes movement a little bit easier. So a multitude of reasons. Now here we go to see that powerbomb tank. Now there is a trick you can do in the next room too, so you can go for a little bit of a different. You can save the different powerbomb usage, but it's really precise, and I didn't get the setup unfortunately. So if you set it up properly, you can clip into the door, so you don't need a powerbomb to open that one. So it means you have an extra powerbomb, so you can do a slightly different cleanup route. Because from here on out, with the powerbombs we've collected, we can start our item cleanup of this game. Oh, please go to the right part. Now, powerbombs in this part are mostly used to open up very convenient shortcuts for later. For example, in this room, that shortcut, so you don't have to go all the way around when we get back here. Because yes, we will get back there, because that part of the pirate mothership is close to the final boss, which I won't spoil just yet. This is also another reason to use supers here, because they make this a little bit faster. And we open up this passage here, which is also makes our traversing back to this part of the ship a little bit faster. And we're getting really close to our refill, really. So we collect this item here, make sure that the work robot doesn't walk back to its spot, because otherwise you have to wait for that. Come on. And we are good to go for a refill, because we'll be refilling in the room right here. And it's also a good sanity check to see if I collected everything I should have collected so far. 220 and 4, that's correct. And we gotta make our way back, because you remember that glass tube we've run through twice now? We're gonna use that to set up a shine spark, but you can only do it once, because you need to, for that shine spark chain, you need to break the glass tube. So you can only do this trick once. If you lose the shine spark chain, you can't do it again, and you have to set up a slow shine spark from the bottom. So we're gonna try. It's all about timing. And execution, obviously. Okay. Okay. Got it. I went for the safer setup here, so I got it. You could also do a space jump into jump to get that tank. Otherwise you would have had to charge a shine spark from the bottom here, which is quite slow because you have to loop back around. Now you can jump into it and let yourself fall back down. Now in here, the enemies do have a very small chance to drop a powerbomb drop. If they do, I could have sped things up a few rooms from now. It's really RNG if you get it or not. Now, if you could do the newer powerbomb routes, or if you could manage to, or if I was able to do the powerbomb clip, I would have an extra powerbomb here, so I would be able to do slightly faster strats there. It's not that much faster, but it's good to know it exists. So here we're gonna be setting up entering criteria again. And setting up for a shine spark change soon as well. A bit of a space boost. There we go. Space boost is speed boost plus space jump, in case you're wondering. Gonna be collecting a few items here, and we're gonna be setting up. For a shine spark chain. That's fine. This is fine, because I can set it up from here. Now, if I had an extra power bomb, I could bomb out the blocks in the middle here, and I would be able to run straight through, and the setup would be really easy. Can't do that here, but we're almost in the clear. So, okay, I'm safe now, as soon as I broke these blocks. And now we're gonna set up for a diagonal ball spark. And you need power bombs to collect the power bombs up here. Yeah, it's a very specific shine spark chain you have to do. It's a bit long, but we got it. So now we're gonna head to Turian to clean up over there. Okay, got the space boost as far as I need it to go. And here we're gonna get back to Turian. And you might have noticed once we enter Turian that things are a bit different from what they were previously. Because there has been a large explosion over here. So things look a bit broken. Now, for those of you familiar with Super Metroid, this is a very clear nod to Super Metroid. Tank hidden below where the Mother Brain tank used to be. Now we need to set up for a space boost here in order to get an item behind the wall in the other room. You'll see. Now, for space boost, you only need the jump button to uphold it. You don't want to hold directional buttons on this space jump, because what would happen, you would be able to break a block in this wall and actually ledge grab it because of power grip, if you're unlucky. So, and then you would have to walk all the way back to the right to do that trick again, which is, as you can imagine, quite slow. But yeah, those two items were the only ones we still needed to collect in Turian. So Turian is now fully cleaned up in terms of items. So that's lovely. Now with power bombs we can use this shortcut here, and remember the criteria area up there is where we originally landed our ship, and if you go down here, go through this room and fall down this shaft, then I can tell you we've went full circle and are right now where the game started. So that's lovely. Now we already did clean up the Brinstar area, so now we're gonna clean up the crate area. And to clean up the crate area we actually needed the gravity suit specifically, because there are some items hidden in the asset, as you'll see in a bit. You'll also see how much easier this traversing this tunnel is when you have power grip. Because there's an item down here. It's a bit of again a shine spark puzzle. Come on, didn't get the spark unfortunately. Oh well, it's fine. It's not too much lower really. So we'll have to make our way back the way we came in. Although you could normally use a ball spark to spark up, but the spark can be a bit finicky. Now this one we could have collected earlier, but it's much faster to do it right now, since we now have space jump, and we actually need to go to the right. To the right of here is where we originally exited the crate area from, with the giant zip line with the bugs. This room right below, there's another tank. It's fast to collect it now. And now, since we have both screw attack and power bombs, we can use a shortcut here, which leads us directly into the North area, which is obviously why it's faster to collect those items now. Because the crate area is now cleaned up as well. And we are now in the middle of the North area again, where we collect a few more items. Now in this next room there is a power bomb tank, and this power bomb tank is special because test wise this is the early power bomb. This is in test terms an early obtainable power bomb tank, but the problem is the only way you can obtain this power bomb tank early is by dying. You game over through the door transition, and that pushes your corpse through the item, which makes you collect the power bomb tank. So you collect the power bomb tanks and immediately die, so it's not useful. It's there is a test that demonstrates it. It's the no bosses, no mini boss, no bosses, no mini bosses test. It's a really cool one. It actually the test actually ends there. Now this large room. It's faster to do this with the space boost, so space jump plus speed boost, but it's very technical, and if you dip too low then you bonk into something and you have to set things back up again, or have to walk the distance, which is slow. So Shine Spark is only slightly slower, and well, the reason we don't want to use Shine Sparks normally is because they have a long startup and bonking animation. However, a Shine Spark does move ever so slightly faster, so in long rooms like this, the Shine Spark somewhat catches up, still 1 or 2 seconds slower I think, but it actually does catch up a bit, quite a bit to the space boost. So those items I just collected you could have obtained earlier technically as well, but it's much faster with let me get those. It's much faster with screw attack and space jump and such to collect them now. Now we're back in these heated rooms we traversed earlier, but it's much easier now that we have Varia and Gravity. Now, power bombs we use to our advantage. The power bomb management actually works out exactly. So if you misplace a power bomb, you have to do a refill somewhere or have to farm for a power bomb, which can be quite slow. So power bomb management is actually quite tight. Now since we have Sprue Tech, we can make use of a bit of a shortcut, and we're back to the top of Norfair. And as there's only one item remaining here, so our cleanup is on track. Make use of this shortcut, and we're gonna set up for a ball spark here. And this ball spark is featured in the title demo. So if you're on the title screen and you leave it running for a while, start to show gameplay, it actually shows this trick over here. So that's the way we found out that you could do that trick. That's really cool, relatively cool. So let's collect that last item. Hopefully, depending on how well you do the space boost, this room is faster or not. Probably with the problem is that the ceiling has blocks sticking out, so you might bonk into one of those blocks. It's avoided, but Norfair is completely clear. So that's lovely. Norfair is clear, Brinstar is clear, Ridley should be cleared. We're clear the last few items in criteria. And then we're gonna go clear Chozodia, which contains the ruins and the Space Pirates mothership. Now we've been here before. Previously we set this up using a Shine Spark and the wall jumps. Since we have space jump, we can do a bit shorter this time and get open the door with that power bomb and get that item at the same time. And now criteria is cleared as well. I double checked just to be sure that it works out. Oh, I actually was on super missiles. Okay. Now we're gonna. Now the problem is there is a power bomb tank at really the farthest point in the Chozo ruins here, which we need to collect now. You can't collect it where you get suits early, unfortunately. Otherwise, this would make the cleanup actually a lot shorter. That's the one early power bomb tank we would have liked to have, but unfortunately it's not possible to get it early. Yeah, but we're basically traversing the same area we did in the stealth section. And the only reason it's ever so slightly slower in the fully powered form is that we don't have the beam to shoot out the bomb blocks. But we're getting there. Oh, there we go. But this one is really going well so far, so I'm not complaining, but because we're getting quite close to the end already. Host, do you have any messages still?
Well, I can remind people that we have some bit wars coming up. In the next game, we have the character choice between base Mega Man and Proto Man in Mega Man The Power Battle. We are still sitting at $3 apiece for base and Mega Man, and $4 for Proto Man, who is therefore in the lead. We also have the incentive to upgrade the Mega Man Extreme to any percent run to 100% no game plus as a category, and we are still missing about 160 euros for that. So please get your donations in. It's not much longer until that run, and you do want to see that new category that has never been shown before at a marathon, right? So please get those donations in, because I want to see it, and I'm sure you do as well.
Okay. I did a double check to see if I cleared all the areas so far, and I didn't miss an item, so so far so good. I only have a few more items left to obtain, really, so we're really nearing the end of the run. for now, basically I'm making my way to the start of the stealth section to collect a few items. Obviously collecting a few other items on the way there. And then it's get back to where we obtained our first pack of power bombs and defeat the final boss and escape. Now, the nice thing about the Shine Spark here is that you can catch up to that missile you shoot. It's a bit of a neat thing we like to do. And we'll be moving through the same rooms, although with a bit of a difference. When I first got here, the glass tube was attacked, so we could do a Shine Spark here. Now we have to space jump up, which is a bit slower, but it's not too bad. Oh, I morphed too early there. There we go. So yeah, right now it's it's all about making way to the start of the stealth section to collect 2 more items there, and then there's an item right before the final boss room, and then we should have all the items. Sounds like a plan, right? Because yeah, you can see it right now. There are 3 more items to collect: 1 powerbomb tank, 1 super missile tank, and 1 energy tank. Spoilers, it's gonna be an energy tank right before the final boss. Do a bit of looping in this room, because I like to do that. And powerbomb management really works out exactly. We have exactly enough powerbomb tanks to open up all the relevant shortcuts and such. Now we're coming through the map room again here, so need to be careful not to run into that. If you just normally run on the ground, the map room will stop you. And you'll get the mark of shame, as I call it. But yeah, we dodged that. And we'll collect the last powerbomb tank here. We already have all the missile tanks, so there's only 1 energy tank remaining. Now, for the final boss, I can tell you that in advance. The final boss takes 6 supers in any percent. If you have collected all of the items, it'll only take 100. Sorry, not 100. 80. It'll triple in health, so it takes 18 supers. So the final boss is also serves as an item collection check. But I double checked my map, so I know I have all the I haven't missed any items so far. So only the energy tank left, and then it's final boss, and yeah, then we'll end the game. Not gonna spoil the last segment of the game just too much yet. Now we opened this shortcut earlier, so it's gonna be traversing rather quickly. Now we're gonna go up here, make our way to the final boss. Use the last powerbomb tank to open that shortcut. Now, this is the second to last room before the final boss, and there's 1 E-tank below here. Now, this E-tank is surrounded by all kinds of tripwires. There are 2 ways to do that. You can do precise space jumping, which is... oh god, that's too low. Ooh. Okay, I can recover that. If you trip the alarm, you have to exit the room and turn off the alarm. Oh shoot, I have to redo that. It's fine, it's fine. If you trigger the alarm, you have to redo that room, which is nasty. Usually if you misplace the Shine Spark, you bonk straight into the tripwires. I managed to recover it quite nice, actually. Okay, this should work. Yeah, it's really precise because you have to dip low for some of the space jumps for those low-hanging tripwires you see. And then we have our all of our items, and we can go straight into the final boss room. Now, this final boss is Mecha Ridley, a robot version of Ridley we defeated earlier. This one takes a bit longer to defeat than Ridley, but you basically have to have 80 supers into the spot I'm aiming for currently. Now I need Claw Swipe. The fact that it takes more than 6 supers means I have collected all of the items. Come on, give me that. Cool, defeated him. So, final boss defeated, Space Pirates defeated, that's nice. However, this wouldn't be a Metroid game without a good and proper escape sequence. The ship is gonna self-destruct, so we're gonna make our way to one of the escape pods. So in in 1.5-ish minutes or so, we'll hit the end of the run. So I want to advise Tech to get somewhat ready on time. Now the doors close nicely behind you, so you don't have to worry too much for enemies chasing you. So it's really get out as quickly as you can. We have a last trick I gotta go for. And since the doors close behind you, you can only attempt this once. If you fail this in the next room, then yeah, you have to do things the slow way. So it involves a shine spark chain, because there is a shortcut you can use here. Oh, careful! Don't mess up the movement. I'll take it extra safe, and you can use this ball spark to use a shortcut here, and this gets you all the way to the last room of the game. So Tech, get ready on time. Once we defeat these 2 enemies and jump into the when we jump into the ships, it's time. Yeah, these enemies can only be damaged by plasma beam. Come on, there we go. Get ready, time. 1:20. Nice. Yeah, we use one of the escape pods to escape the exploding ship. The space pirate tries to stop us, but we managed, actually. And because of the final boss, I know we got 100%, but you also get, after the credits, which take a few minutes, get a completion screen showing 100% and then how much in-game time you took and an artwork. But yeah, this one went pretty okay, I'd say. So, if you need time to fill, we can let the credits run. Otherwise, I'll give it back to you. I'll let the host decide, actually.
Well, first of all, thank you very, very much for the run. It was really a joy to watch. I'm not sure if I've seen 100% run of Zero Mission before, so it was quite the experience. I do like to watch Metroid, so always a good thing to do.
It was a joy to de-rust this, I can tell you.
Yeah, I believe that. So, we are currently having a few issues with setting up the next run, so I'm not sure how quickly that can be done.
I guess I'll let the credits roll for now.
Yeah, we'll just let the credits roll.
I mean, that gives them a few minutes. Yeah, this Metroid Zero, GBA Metroid speedrunning is a ton of fun. Fusion and Zero Mission have a few are communities that are relatively have a good overlap in people. And both games are very are fun speed games. They have cool tech going in them. So shoutouts to both GBA Metroid communities. Metroid Fusion was actually my first speed game. This was my second speed game. I'd like my third official speed game, I guess. It's a fun one. Zero Mission is a lot of fun. It's very it's very fast paced. I mean, it shows you how a remake should be done, if you ask me. So yeah, we're getting close to the completion screen. So you get, and the completion screen differs depending on how fast you do the run and how many items you've collected. 100% gets you special completion screens, and because we're well below the 2-hour mark in terms of in-game time, even below the 1-hour mark in terms of in-game time, we get this cool art of Samus without a power suit. It's really cool. 100%, 59:41. So that's even faster than Dragon Dart did it in 2012 GDQ, I think. So that's good. I have nothing more to say, actually.
Well, I say then we go into intermission, and please stay tuned for the next run. Other than that, this was the last run of my hosting shift. You will hear me later on, because 3 runs from now, according to schedule, I'm on with QV, so look forward to that. Other than that, all I have to say is see you next mission.
See you next mission.